Hello everybody, this is Petey from BurgZerg Arcade at BurgZergArcade.net, and here we are back again in the RPG item system. Now the last time we left off, we got the buttons working on the armor tab. So we have the create button and the save and cancel button. Let's go ahead and start filling out some data here when we actually go to create a new armor. So remember, close that down. We'll jump right into whatever IDE is you're using, and actually right here. Item details. This is where we're going to display it, and we're going to want to go between the begin vertical and end vertical. And just to start off with, we're just going to call that temp armor dot on GUI. And we are going to have to put a conditional statement in here, or else it's just going to display all the time. But let's just go ahead. We'll jump in, fire it up, switch over to armor, and of course it's always there. We don't want this to show up unless we actually hit create. I didn't get that error this time, so apparently that error only. Let me see. Then it completely blows up. Well, we're going to come in here and we're going to add that conditional statement. We only want to show that GUI for the temp armor if we're actually calling for it. So we're going to need an if statement, and it's pretty simple. We'll come down to the create button, and we've got a few things here. We're going to say if a couple things here. We can check to see if the temp armor does not equal null. We have show details, and we also have create new armor. Now, I think I'm going to be getting rid of this create new armor simply because it's really not needed. If we're showing details and we have selected indexes equaling -1, that means that we haven't selected anything. That means we are going to be showing something new. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to trigger off the show details. So we'll come all the way up to the top here, and we're going to say if we're supposed to be showing details, then let's show the temp armor. And we'll close it. And let's fire it back up and take a look here. So we'll jump into armor. There's nothing. We hit create armor. It shows everything that we need here. Let me just take a look here. Name, value, burden, icon. All those are what we're supposed to be displaying. We're still getting that error. And after we're actually done getting the armor part done, where we can actually create new ones and add them to the database, which we're almost done, I'll go ahead and start actually digging into this. As we've seen in the last video, it doesn't affect the ability to work with the database. It's just a GUI repaint error. And I don't believe we were getting this in the previous version. So I don't know if this is just something new in Unity 5.2, or if it was something that we were doing wrong back then and now it's just telling us about it. Didn't tell us before. Or maybe they just changed something. I don't know, but we'll look into it a little bit later. So we have the quality that comes with the first part, armor. Max armor should change to current armor, I guess. Then we have min durability, max durability. Again, min durability could probably be switched down to current durability as well, just to clear up some of the nomenclature. So let's actually do that first. But anyway, if we go ahead and hit cancel, that's it. So create. And again, it has that pause. And it's right before this. So I'm assuming this is where we're getting the trouble with this. But anyway, max armor is going to be, armor is going to be switched to current armor. So we're going to need the weapon class for that, aren't we? Well, let's go in here. Can we go up to the top? Where did I define it? So armor. Go to declaration. This will load the script up automatically for us. We'll have to come down to the on GUI stuff. All right. And again, cur for current. If you want to write the whole name out, by all means, knock yourself out. Let me quickly jump in. And I know I've said close this before you make any edits, but I'm keeping it open just for now. I just haven't saved the script. I just want to keep it open. See if there's anything else I want to switch here. And I think that's it. So I'll go ahead and close it down now. We'll come back into my IDE. I'll go ahead and save that. Let's go back in. Open it up. Go to armors. And there we go. To me, it looks a little bit better. A little more descriptive. All right, so we've got that done. Let's go ahead and actually have it save when we click that button. Click the save button now. So we'll close that. We'll come back into our IDE. I can close down the armor script because I like to keep things a little bit neater. Right in here. I'm going to come down to the save button. And right here is where we actually want to go ahead and save. And we can just go ahead and take a look at the code from the last one, and we're just going to copy it and massage it into, well, what we need. So here's the code here. We're taking a look to see if the selected index equals -1. Else, we're going to replace it for the selected index that we have clicked. And just look here. I'm looking at the stuff under it. Now, state we've switched. We do have a focus control where we jump back up to the save button. That's just to move where what function has focus. Let's go ahead and we'll copy all of this for now. And we'll just sort through it when we get to the top. This here will display the delete button. And we're not going to get into that just yet. Let's see how we are on time at the end of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and post this in. I'm going to say if the selected index does not equal 1, then we want to go ahead and add it to the database. Or sorry, if it does equal -1, that means we have not selected one from the left list view. Add it to the database. Else, go ahead and just replace whatever one that we had selected with what we have modified. So let's go ahead, fix that code up. We don't really need braces for this. So I believe it's just database, right? Yeah, database.add. And we're going to add in the temp armor. And of course, we have an else, which is going to be database.replace. And honestly, all we really have to do, I like to retype it out just so you can actually see me typing it, but really all we have to do is just capitalize that and switch temp weapon to temp armor, which of course later will be a generic, and it will be temp item or something along that lines. All right. So we go ahead, we save the item, and I will move this to the top. Will be the first thing we do when we hit save. Then we're going to go ahead and set show details to false, which was this one here. Temp to null, we do that down here. The last thing we want to do is set the focus. Selected index, looks like I already have that as well. So we get rid of that, and the show new weapon, which is create new armor, that flag there. So we already had all this except for the GUI set focus, but well, we'll go ahead, we'll keep it like that. That's everything we need. And let's go ahead and let's create one. Now there's other checks you could put in here as well before you go ahead and actually save, like make sure the item has a name, or make sure, all the fields are filled out or something like that. But for now, I just wanted to save something. So we'll save that. We'll jump back into Unity. Let our errors disappear. Yep. Start her back up. Let's go over to armor. I'm going to create a new armor. Let's call it PD's pants. Value of 10. Burden 2. We'll make sure all these fields are saving. PD's pants are, we'll have to fix that. Uncommon? I'm going to make them uncommon. Typo. We'll have to go fix that. But we'll fix that in a minute. Current armor, let's say they're 10. Max armor of 20. Current durability 10. Max durability 10. Equipment slot, legs. Prefab. I don't think we have a lot of prefabs, do I? Well, we'll just take that for now. And let's select the database. Before we do this, armor. I want to shrink them all down. So we have gloves, boots, save, PD's pants. Yay. And everything there is showing. And of course, we also have them over here, but we have not enabled us. Oh, look at that. It worked by default. Now, we haven't bothered fixing these buttons yet. And we'll take a look at the code first, just to go over, just to make sure that everything is working as expected. Background. Looks like, yep. Okay, let's go fix that quality of the uncommon. So make sure you close the editor. I'm not really sure where it is, so the easiest way is just to open up the armor script, which of course, quick access to through here. Could just keep it open, but I don't like to do that. And equipment slot, go to declaration. Oh, not slot, quality. Wow, is that coming all the way from IS object? Why, it is. Well, that means it's in the database. Was it W to load that up? Yeah, it is. Did not mean to dock that. Hate trying to undock stuff sometimes. Okay, shrink that down a bit. And right here. There we go. I'm not going to bother adding any. I didn't put icons for them. I thought I had. Is that new? This V one? Drop down arrow? So a darker one. Anyway, all done. We'll go ahead and quit that. And just because I have some OCD issues, I'm going to go ahead, whoops, and check. And we now have uncommon. Great. And that should not save. All right, let's go ahead. We'll check out the code for the list view. Come back into our IDE. We'll close a few of these scripts up because I don't need them anymore. And we're actually going to have to look at the code for when we select an item. So I just want to take a quick look here. What we're doing when we select an item is going ahead and setting the selected index to the item we selected in that list. We're going ahead and loading up the item that was in that database that corresponds with the selected index. And we're assigning it to our temp armor. We're going ahead and setting the flag create new armor to true. And we're setting show details to true. Great, so that's going to trigger when we come back to the category details. That's going to trigger here, which will display the details. Now this is where I also want the delete button to show as well. And if we actually come down to the delete button, the buttons, we have whether or not to show. And right in the middle here is where I want the delete button. And we only want this to show up if we have something selected. And the way we can check for that is to see if our selected index is, well, less than -1. And if it is, that means we have nothing selected. So if we have nothing selected, don't show it. So if selected index is less than, well, there's a couple of ways to do it. We can check to see if it's less than 0, or we can check to see if it equals -1. And I actually have it set up to where -1 is always going to be something not selected. But I'm actually just going to say less than 0, because just in case I accidentally type something wrong somewhere and say, you know, like -2, this is still going to be able to handle it. Delete button. And we still have to add the functionality for the delete button. For now, I just want a show button. We can just do a little bit of copy paste here. And I'll throw a debug statement in there for now. And of course, let's actually put the debug. Now, I've had someone ask me why I use the debug.log statement so much instead of just a print statement. Debug actually has a lot of other stuff that you can do with it. And honestly, as far as just debug.log versus print, they're the exact same thing, more or less. I think you can do some like coloring and stuff like that with debug log, but it's just the one I use. If you like print and this all you're doing, it really doesn't matter. If you want to save a few keystrokes, that's fine. So, whoops, I'm just going to say delete the, and once we see the delete button showing up, I'm going to go ahead and actually get rid of that extra variable that we have in there now. So let's go, we'll save that off, jump back in. Not play. Let's just go ahead and hit the button to open up our editor. We'll come to armor. And if we create, we're getting the delete button and we're not supposed to. So let me go ahead, take a look at create. I think I did it wrong. I think I said if it's less than, put less than 0. What I really mean is greater than -1. If it's less than 0, that means we don't have something selected. So let's go ahead, we'll save that off. Let's do it again. Fire it up, hit armor, hit create. And there we go, it does not show up. I'm just gonna go ahead, hit cancel. But if we select an item, there it is. And of course, if we click it, it just says deleting item. And let's go ahead and add the functionality for that next. So go ahead and cancel that, make sure we close it down. Go ahead and hit clear, because I don't like looking at all that. And again, we can just copy all the stuff from here. So we want that little modal pop-up. So again, I'm just going to copy everything out of here and we'll just sort what we need, what we don't. back into my delete button. And I really do like having all these buttons separate from the rest of the logic. All right, so editor utility. We're going to go ahead and add the using editor namespace. Let's do it under Unity Engine. Unity editor. We'll go ahead. We'll save that bad boy off. We'll scroll to the top or the bottom. So again, capital D to fix our database. So we're going to go in, pop up this modal window again. Are you sure that you want to delete? Then we're going to go ahead, go into the database, get the name. And honestly, we do not need to do this. We do not need to go into the database anymore. We can grab it from our temp armor. And I like this better. First off, it's shorter, so it fits on the line a bit better. Well, you can see it better, I should say. And it just saves us having to go out and look in the database. So the options it's going to give us is delete and cancel. And again, if we go ahead and select delete, like the first option, then it's going to go ahead and execute this. And to be honest, since we made it so much shorter, we might actually be able to fit it all in one line now. And it looks like we can. Great. So if we do click on it, well, I'm going to put it all on one line. You guys have seen how it looks. Yeah, I want to keep it all in one line. All right, so we're going to go into the database and we're going to remove the selected index, which is the one that we have selected. Right here, show a new weapon detail. So was it show details is going to equal to false. Temp armor is going to be equal to null. Selected index will be -1. And display state will be equal to, we can just go ahead and get rid of that. And of course, we switch the focus over to the GUI control that we have set up for the save button. And that's just to make sure that we don't have the cursor blinking in like the namespace or whatever space we used last. And let's save that off and let's go take a look, see if it works. So we'll go ahead, let it load up what it needs to load. So which one am I not using? Create new armor. Yeah, so we're not even using that. So we'll go ahead and we'll delete that. Let's just make sure this works. Click armor, PD's pants. Let's go ahead and look at the database as well. PD's pants. So we're going in and delete. Delete weapon. We'll have to change that. Delete armor. Are you sure that you want to delete PD's pants from the database? Delete, and it's gone. Let's go ahead. We'll close that down. We'll fix that little delete weapon bug. Going to concat onto that. And I called it str item type. There we go. And was it at the top of this one I did it or the top of the other class or the other one? Yeah, right here. Just so we know what we're dealing with. And again, we'll do one more quick check on it. And if we hit delete, delete armor. Instead of armor, let's just go ahead and actually just put the name there. It catches the user's eye better, I think anyway. And of course that is just this here, temparmor.name. Type it or copy paste it. Open it up. Armor, delete, delete boots, and probably should put a question mark maybe after. No, we'll just leave it like that. You know how to, I've shown you enough now on how to format this stuff. You should be able to go ahead and set it up the way you want there. Anyway, so that's done. And the values should update as well. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So let's say boots have a value of 10, burden of 100, selected index of this new drop down. Let's go ahead and hit save, and there we go. So it is saving stuff, and I just want to make sure. Quality is going to be uncommon. I'm going to hit save. All right, so yeah, that's saved. Current armor, I don't know, 100 of 110. Current durability, we'll save 1 of 10. Equipment slot, these are what boots, they go on the feet. And prefab, we'll go ahead, grab a prefab. We'll go ahead, hit save, and everything's updating. So great, everything is saving. We can delete. We can create. I believe, right? Yeah. We'll do one more quick creation here. And maybe in the next video, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. So PD's pants again. And value. They're really expensive. But light. And they're always falling down, so we'll use this arrow. Quality, they're pretty rare. Current armor, they don't really offer a lot of protection. Even when they're brand new, not full of holes. But they're always full of holes. We'll go on to the legs. And we only have one prefab made. And I do want to take a quick look at this prefab. But anyway, we're going to go ahead, we'll save it. We're going to open it up. So yeah, we can create new ones. We can delete old ones. We can edit old ones. So everything seems to be working there. Of course, let me know down below in the comments if I've missed something. Let's go ahead and get rid of this create new armor variable. And I want to take a quick look at how we're doing the prefab. Come into the scripts, iOS object status bar. I just need actually ISO object. And it's not that, it's actually in the armor itself. And I'm just setting it as a game object. Let me take another quick look at it. Source, we're clicking, we have the choice. Why was it not giving us a scene option? I thought I had some way of restricting this. Let's see. This is where it comes from. But this is just an interface. And come down here. All we're doing is returning it. Okay, well, I'll have to look into that a little bit more later on. I'll be here forever if I start fixing all the spacing issues. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and save that off. This is another one of those things I can look at off camera until I figure it out. Next up, let's get rid of that variable we're no longer using. So these are all okay. These are all going to get used. Come to the top here and create new armor. We no longer need this one. Now I'm going to get some errors, which are fine because we can just come down and easily see them on my IDE. They're pink. That's pretty good. A whole list view. Look how short that is. I'm just trying to think, is there anything here we need to do besides this? Nope. And down here, I think most of the code is just buttons. But let's go ahead. Let's just start at the top and delete the pink. There we go. And that is it. Now there's one more thing before I end this video. I want to change the name of these functions here instead of it being delete button delete. I just want the type before exactly what it does. Exact same thing for here. All the buttons. Sometimes you'll see people abbreviate it just to like BTN or something like that. I'm actually just going to go ahead and put the full name. I usually put the full name for functions. For variables, I'll use the short form BTN. I'm sure we spell it right. And I think, oh, button create. And I'm just going to do create instead of create item. And that is it. One more quick check just to make sure everything is working. And then I think we're done armor, right? So tomorrow, or when I upload the new video, I'm going to try to start getting 3 a week uploaded. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are my target days right now, with Tuesday and Thursday being the days that I stream. But the next time around, we're going to go ahead and set this up to be generic so we can pull all this armor stuff out and inherit and have different actual, real categories now. Then once that's done, we'll do weapons, and then that's probably when I'll come in and start trying to squish this bug, unless I squish it along the way. But anyway, armor Everything should still be working. I like to look at the database while I'm doing this. Shrink down the boots and the pants. So PD's pants, let's hit cancel. PD's pants. Make some changes. Let's add an extra S here. And there we go. Changed it there as well. And of course we can delete it. And create. Come on. You can do it. Maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll fix that first. Okay, well, we've already seen this. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave all that. We'll go ahead and hit save. There they go. All right. That's it for this video. We'll be doing one of those things that I've talked about at the end of this video in the next one. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. So if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It really does help me out here on YouTube. And go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I can be a pretty chatty guy over there when I'm not walking through a forest or being stalked by eagles and falcons, lions, tigers, and bears.